Polynomial inequalities, multiple choice. Here are the solutions for the two questions. Question number 1. Determine the zeros of the function f of x equals to minus x to the power of 4 plus x squared plus 1. The idea of having this as the very first question in the set of inequalities is that the zeros will divide your plane into intervals where we check for inequalities, right? So there is always this process of finding zeros. So let's say we have two zeros here. Then as you note, these zeros will actually divide this set of points into three intervals. And then when we are doing or solving inequalities, we're checking with the help of test points, where does the solution lie? So it's kind of very important and a must kind of to solve for zeros first and then go for inequalities, right? This is an inherited part of solving inequalities. So that's why we have this very interesting question to start with, right? Now here, how do you find zeros for this function? Easy way is you can substitute x squared as some variable, let us say n. In that case, you can rewrite this as minus n squared plus n plus 1, right? Do you see that? So once you have a quadratic equation, you can always find the answer. Now in this case, remember what is n equals to. So n is equals to x squared. So once you find the answer for n, you have to take only the positive answer, right? Because x squared cannot be negative. So, and then, you know, x will be equals to plus and minus square root of n. So that is how these questions should be done. I hope you understand the strategy here. So use the quadratic formula. That is, if you don't remember, let me put it here. Use the quadratic formula first for n, which will be using this particular equation, which will be n equals to minus b plus minus b squared. So minus b is 1 for you, right? So it's minus 1 plus and minus b squared, which is this. And one more recommendation which I should make here is, so we are like starting to make for zeros. It is a good idea to keep this always positive, right? So I'll do that positive here and then solve. So we should make this as n squared minus n minus 1 equals to 0, right? Now look, so I'll change this. So minus b minus 1 becomes plus 1 plus minus b squared, which is minus 1 squared, which is 1, minus 4ac. So minus 4 times minus 1 becomes plus 4, right? Plus 4 square root divide by 2, 2a, right? So find this value using calculator, correct? So it is, you have to, and remember, you have to take only the positive answer here, since n, as you can see from here, n is greater than 0. Is that okay? So do that. So we have square root of 5, which is equals to 2.23. Add 1 to it, plus 1, and then divide by 2, right? So then you divide by 2, you get some fraction 1.61. So let me write this as 1.618. But x is square root of this, right? So do square root of this, and this time when you do square root of the answer, then you have to take both plus and minus values. Do you see that? So when you take both plus and minus values of this, then what do you get? You get, the answer is A, plus and minus 1.27. Do you understand? So that is how this problem should be solved. And I hope you understand the strategy, why in these steps we are taking n first as positive. Very first one is the substitution, right? It helps you to reduce degree 4 into degree 2, a quadratic equation, where you could apply a quadratic formula, find the answer, right? Take positive answer and then do square root and get your final answer. So that is how we are going to solve this. Now, let's move on to question number 2. Question number 2 is, Tom can walk 3 kilometers in 20 minutes. It takes Sam at least twice as long to walk the same distance. Which inequality expresses this relationship if t is the time taken by Tom? Now, so Tom can walk 3 kilometers in 20 minutes. It takes Sam's at least twice as long. So at least 40. That means Sam will take more than 40 minutes. That is what you're looking for as an answer, right? So the time is more than 40 minutes for Sam. Now this gives you the time is more than 10. This gives you time is more than 40. So that is your answer. Do you understand? So don't get lost into the question. Try to figure out the answer as soon as you go through the problem, right? So that is the target. Target is try to get an idea of the answer and then match it with the equations given. Well, if you start reading these 4 options, in that case you may get confused, right? So avoid. That is my kind of suggestion to you to solve multiple choice questions, and I hope that helps. Thank you and all the best.